Okay, there we go. We're recording. Hello, friends. Happy Friday. Happy month's end. We're not going to be on here all day, but we are on here because this is a fantastic chapter. We're on chapter 5 of Built to Last. Did everybody read it? Anybody reading it later, or are you feeling set? I read it a couple weeks ago and then I listened to it again yesterday, and it was just so good all over again. And then I scanned again this morning. That I just work well that way. In fact, that's why I love book club, because especially when you're leading, and maybe Bonni feels this way too, I encourage you guys to be a part of leading stuff like this, because you take it a little extra seriously. And then research proves that when people teach what they've learned, it changes you even more, right? Yeah. Sonia's like, feel it. And it's almost like accountability when you say it with integrity. You're like, I better be doing this. I'm going to do this. So, Bonni, would you like to just start us out here?
Yeah, I would. And I'm going to disagree right away with something BK said, because I am going to keep you all day. I'm not going to keep you all day. If you have you can tell I was a public school teacher. If you have the actual book, I'd like you to get it and have it in front of you if you have it. I know a lot of you are doing it by listening to it. I am so honored to be here, and I'm actually going to pray first because there's so much that I feel I want to share. I just want to make sure that I share what I should share. So I'm going to pray first for me to do that. I thank you, Lord, for this group of women. I thank you, Lord. I believe with all my heart that if we are in this business and on this call, it's because you have ordered our steps, because I believe the Bible literally, and you order our steps. And I give you thanks, Lord, for that. And I pray, Lord, that the words of my mouth would not only benefit the team, more importantly, that they would be what you would want me to say. I thank you for this time. In Jesus' name, amen. All right, I'm going to talk 90 miles an hour. I was so excited to see this. I signed up to go over chapter 5, and my first thought was, oh, Bonni, people are going to think you only signed up for chapter 5 because it was just one chapter, not two. Ladies, why do we do that? Why do we care? Why am I making up what you're going to think? Okay, so I did it because this chapter is so important to me. First of all, I haven't read all that many books, maybe 8 or 10 books about leadership, mostly by John Maxwell. And then I do follow the book club, but this has got to be my personal favorite. And so I'm going to go really quickly. And I picked it because of the word visualization. I'm going to go over that shortly. So I'm going to go really, really quickly because I would like to do an action step in the back. And I have lots of things to show you, like an eyeline sharpener. Did you read that part in the chapter? I'm just kidding. It's not in there, but I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to give a quiz soon. And do you know why I was almost late? Because before I do every Zoom, I have to put my perfume on, and I had forgotten it. Now, what does that have to do with anything? You'll hear later on if I remember to tell you. So the chapter starts off by saying, do we recognize the value of what we're offering? Do we recognize the value? And I want to tell you real quickly, I started these products because 8.5 years ago, my oldest son, we have 8 children. My oldest son had Crohn's, and he had just landed in the hospital from, I don't know, I can't count the number of times, but this was his 4th operation. And the doctor said he's in a fetal position. He's not doing well. We had to cut out a lot of his intestines. And we have nothing else we could do medically. We can give him an experimental drug, but the possible side effects are horrible. So I'm standing in the room and I'm thinking, well, where do we go from here? And it's too long a story to go into as to how God brought Plexus in my life, but he did at that time. I shared it with my son. He had nothing to lose and everything to gain. And within 5 months, all of his symptoms have been gone for 8 years. His doctor dismissed him. He couldn't even eat rice. Usually Crohn's patients can eat rice, but nothing else. No corn, no gluten. He couldn't even eat rice. And so when I say to you that I don't know what would have happened to him if he hadn't found Plexus, I mean that. And you don't have to have a testimony like mine to know that there's a difference. These products are real. What we have is a gift. And I look at it as a gift. And who would I hold back from telling about a wonderful gift? There's nobody. And I'm going to ask you questions, and when I ask you questions, just don't answer. It's probably safer. So, like, are we worried? Do we ever think about what she's going to think? Or, well, maybe I'm bothering her. Maybe it's a bad time. Maybe I'm pestering her. Maybe I'm being a pain. Maybe she'll think I don't go there because I have a gift. They don't have to receive it. but I have a gift. That's how I look at our business and our products. Is that the way we all look at them? Because if we looked at it that way, we're going to come across very differently than if we don't. Huge, huge, huge fact. It's 100% true. So when I talk to someone, just today, for example, 2 people with Crohn's messaged me. I sort of have a lot of people with Crohn's on my team because they know my son, a lot of them, or they've heard. And one of the people are joining. They're going to try the products. The second person said, no, I don't really think that's for me. And I got off, they were on the phone with me. They got my number and I got off the phone with them and I wanted to cry, which I wonder if that's often the way God feels about us when he has given us his son and done everything he can do and people still reject him. I mean, it's not the same example, but I felt so sorry for this. I think he was a 27-year-old man. That's the information I got from him because he hung up the phone and is going to try an experimental medicine. So my prayer for him is that he's healed, whatever that can come about. But that's the way I look at it. So when I talk to someone that says no, my prayer is, Lord, let there be a better time. It's almost always timing. Because you know what, ladies? We know it's not us. We know it's not the products. We know it's not because we're from a small town and we know everybody and go to church with them. Because if you study or read or listen to any of the Diamond documentaries, most of them came from small towns and they go to church with the people on their team. And it's none of that. And we have diamonds and we have sapphires and we have emeralds from small towns, very few friends on social media, but they got to those ranks. What's the difference? I think the difference is this chapter. I really do. Because the way we come across, our author says, is like a magnet. Are we coming across with the confidence and surety that what we have is a gift, and not only did it work for us, it will work for them? And I don't even have to back it up with a guarantee because our great company does that. Is that the way we're coming across? It really has nothing to do with the number of friends on social media, has nothing to do with how big your town is. It really doesn't, because we have a gift and millions of people in your state, no matter where you're from, need it, and out of your state need it as well. So I got really excited about this. If I'm not sharing, if I close my store, that's what we say if we're not posting, you know what? I'm not serving. I look at this as serving. And so when am I not supposed to serve? I mean, I do very little, if anything, on a Sunday, as per my husband's request, and I agree. I don't do very much on a Saturday. That's our only day on the farm that we can sort of do more together. Other than that, I'm here to serve. If we're in this and we have a heart for this, which we do, this group, we're here to serve. So I look at it as such a wonderful honor and opportunity. And my goal is that people will tell it's not about me. It's about the fact that God has allowed me to be blessed through it, and I want to pass it along. There's a story in your book, and I'm not going to read that story. It's very inspiring, but it's going to take too much time, and you can read that yourself. But I do want to talk a little bit about what he says after that. We don't know what people are going through. That's the point of the story. We just don't know. I had to think recently, there was a golfer. I don't follow golf, but some of my son-in-laws do, and sons, and he committed suicide, I guess, a few days ago. And he had just won the biggest tournament in January. He had won 2 PGA tournaments recently, and yet I think he was in his late 20s, committed suicide. I'm not sure of his age. He had a fiance who loved him. He loved her. He had a golf caddy. Supposedly when you golf, you get really close with that person. And he committed suicide. Nobody knew. And so when I talk to people like this 27-ish-year-old man that called me today, my heart went out to him. I know what it's like when you can't date. My son couldn't date because he never knew when he was going to have an explosion in the bathroom. He couldn't date. He couldn't keep a job. I know that pain a little bit through him. And so we don't know what people are working through, and yet we have the answer financially and the products. And I think we need to remember that. So I made a point, and my team is so good at this. I'm sure all of us on this call are as well. We make a habit of leading with kindness. Our goal is to be kind, and our goal is to share. That's the goal. And the result we don't have any control over the results, but we do have 100% control over how we are dealing with them. And so we walk in love and we walk in kindness and we do our best at the time. And that result, I believe, is in God's hands and that person's. But I always assume that that person needs this because of the difference in my life. People need money. They need help. A lot of people need help medically, and it has not worked for them. Another phone call I just got today. Whenever I do a Zoom like this, I think, Lord, do you have people call me on purpose? Because the man this morning is in his 60s and he said he's had neuropathy for years and years and years, and he wants to be all better. And so I asked for his phone number. I like to deal on the phone, and I don't know him, got back to him. And I said, sir, I can help you. I have teammates who no longer deal with neuropathy, but I'll tell you, it could easily be a year. And he said to me, what's a year? I will gladly use the products. So I think sometimes in the beginning, I was almost afraid to be honest with the people. So I didn't lie, but I wouldn't give all the information. Now I put it out there because it's not really on me. It's their decision. And I want to always be above board and kind and truthful. And hopefully for this gentleman in 2 days, he'll have no more neuropathy, but he's had it for years. And so that I don't like to use the word chance, but it could easily, for my members of the team that have neuropathy, it's been taking 6 to 12 months, but then it's better. And what they've been using hasn't helped. So I love what he said. What's a year? So that's the way I deal with it. I have to think of the many times in our testimonials on the various groups on social media, like Gut Health and Wellness and all the different wellness groups. How many people in their testimonies will say, I got my life back? That's what we do, ladies. We help people get their lives back. We help them be better versions of themselves. I can't think of anything that would be a whole lot better than that. That's why I look at it as a gift. And that's all in chapter 5. I really went berserk with this chapter. One of my grandsons came over today. My name is Bubba. They call me Bubba because I'm Jewish Christian. And he said, Bubba, how many times do you have to read that? Who's your teacher? He doesn't get it, but it was cute. Okay, so we're offering a gift, and something that our author says, this is a quote, every day is an opportunity to share the gift. Suppose we woke up like that, ladies. Every day is an opportunity to share the gift. You'll come across a lot differently than, I really want the wallet. I would never spend $59 for a wallet. Please, lady, join me. I want a wallet. It's going to come across a lot better if you just realize that it's a gift. We have a gift to share, and we're so excited about it. What's the biggest obstacle? Us. It's not the products. It's not the cost. It's us. And so how can that change? I believe it's through visualization. Now, some of you, before you think that Bonni Greiner's off her rocker, at least for this point, just give me a moment here. This, believe it or not, started about eight or 9 years ago, my whole looking into visualization. My husband and I had a date, which was rare, and we drove 30 minutes to the nearest city near us. I don't even remember what the date was, but what I remember was we were at a red light in our car, and I looked at the car next to us, and I said, Nevin, my husband, have you ever seen a car that color? And if this wasn't being recorded, I would use the word differently. But since it's being recorded and I'm supposed to be like intellectual, I'll say it looked like a dirty brown green. Okay, I'm just going to say it looked like a boogie. And I said, do you think it came from the manufacturer like that, or did they have it painted? And he said, I've never seen a car like that. Okay, you know where I'm going. We saw 3 more cars that exact color going to our date and coming home. We had never seen it before, but now we saw it. You say, Bonni, what does that have to do with visualization? What it has to do with is our brain made a note of it. Our brain is meant to comfort us. So when I made note of that color of that car, that brain wanted to show me the answer. Was it specially painted or were there more? And so my brain noticed more and notified me that there were more. So I'm not going wah-wah here because there's lots in the Bible about this. I'm just going to quote one verse. It's one of my favorite verses. Just in case you think I'm off the deep end. Isaiah 26, verse 3. You will keep him in perfect peace. Anybody know the rest? Whose mind is stayed on thee and is steadfast. Aha, what is our mind stayed on? Are we steadfast? Are we totally walking in fear in this business? I can't. Bonni said you can, but I can't. I never could. I won't be able to. Guess what? Your brain will help you never be able to because it wants to keep you comfortable. We can change that. That's what chapter 5 is to me. We can change that. How does your mind work? I can't fully explain that. I have active here. I really like active. I have a daughter that suffered with migraines since she was 3 years old, went to a pediatric neurologist. He said, this little girl has migraines. It continued until I found plexus. Pink drink helped, active cured. We're not allowed to say that. Active, when she uses an active, if she feels a migraine coming, they do not manifest. I understand a little bit how it works because it helps with oxygen. Look at some, you can't see, look at our faces. It's true. That's why I picked active, because it really does. If you know anybody that gets migraines, I know a little bit because it relaxes blood vessels, so there's more oxygen, because it's a lot of times due to constriction here. So I don't fully understand, but I don't fully understand how the brain works either, except it has been scientifically proven that what we set our mind on grows. If you are full of fear and negativity, your brain will keep showing you you're exactly right. Oh, yes, it's probably, if there's a tornado, that tree will probably fall on you, whatever you're thinking about. We need our mind to be steadfast and stayed. Why? We trust in God. I believe if we're in this business and you're desiring more of the business, I believe it's God's steps for us. I believe he orders our steps. So how do we agree with him? Well, I believe that this chapter answers that as well. We focus on believing that we can help other people. Yes, you, we. And in even more than believing is we know. Are you choosing to know? On Sunday, our whole family's getting together. There's 30 of us now. I have 8 children. They're all married. We have a bunch of grandchildren. My goal on Sunday, because we very rarely all get together, is to hold all of our 15 grandchildren, kiss them, and bless them. And you know what? No matter what, if there's a storm, if some of the kids are throwing up, whatever's going on Sunday, I'm going to do that because I know I'm going to do that. Do we know about our business? Can you say that? You say, well, Bonni, I didn't make my goal this month. I didn't either. I'm 100 points shy of where I wanted to be. And you know what my answer is? The day's not over yet. And you know what? Even if I don't get there, I have a new month's goal because I know I will get to Sapphire. I know I have a date and I know. Well, Bonni, you can't really know. I can know. I can know. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that. You say, you don't understand, Bonni. I've been trying so hard. How about if we get to the end of the book and keep discussing the chapters, and then maybe we can try a little differently? I'm not saying you're doing it wrong. I'm just saying these are such great ideas in how to work the business. I'm really learning a lot. All right. Our author says, knowing acts like a magnetic power that attracts success. If you are desperate, it comes across. You can't see those waves going, but that person feels it. They just do. I'd rather be a magnet of people that will continue to think about it, even if they say no. That's why I get back to them. And I'm going to get back to this young man that contacted me. I'm going to say, have you given it more thought? Because I know it will help you. So I think it's really important. Okay. Are we willing to do what it takes to become the person we need to be? I think we are. I think you wouldn't be on here if you're not that person. All right. And here, I told you, you just can't get the public school teacher out of me. Please turn in your book, if you have it, to page 71. I know, I was a high school teacher. I taught landscaping and horticulture. I can fix your lawnmower. Maybe, if I remember. Okay, that was one of the things I taught. All right, page 71. I'm going to read this really quickly, but I really want you to follow along. So if you don't have the book, if you're listening, you know, Audible, whatever, it's on page 71. It's called Visualize Your Highest Good. Visualization is simply seeing what you want in your mind before it happens. Research has shown, this is the part I want to read, ladies, because I wouldn't have believed it, but I do. Research has shown that actually shooting basketball free throws, so shooting them actually outside with a basketball net or inside, and visualizing yourself shooting free throws are equally effective in improving your game. Boom. That's amazing. Are you visualizing yourself at the next rank? Are you visualizing yourself getting the next person on your team? What are you saying to yourself? I'm saying I'm an effective leader. God is showing me day by day to be more effective. My goal is to help as many people as I can fulfill the dreams that God's given them through this business and products. I say it every single day. I want to show you some other things too. Whenever my husband sees the word sapphire, he's so sweet. He gets it for me. He got me a ticket to a show and they had different sections in the arena. He got me the sapphire section so I could keep the ticket. Okay. Please just hear me out. This is on the back of the chairs at convention. So last year at convention, I asked the person when I registered for convention, I said, I know what happens here. And on the very last day, can I go to one of those chairs that say Sapphire and take this home with me? And she said, yes, you can. And you can take some for your team. And I thought, well, they're not quite there yet. I have been sitting in this chair since last year's convention. Something else. Why? I'm visualizing, ladies. I'm visualizing. I'm going to be able to help more people. I'm going to be helping more people. 4.5 years ago, I went to convention and my good friend, Danette Martin, is an emerald, and went on stage and got this. This is what you get. And I asked her afterwards if I could go to her hotel room and take a picture of me holding it. And I thought, as I'm walking to her hotel room, I thought, that's the stupidest thing. But then I remembered that car on date night. I thought, well, maybe my brain just needs to see more of this. So I stood in her hotel room and I held it like this, like a 5-year-old that had just lost a first tooth. That's how stupid I felt. So I'm holding it like this. She snaps the picture and I took it home and I put it on my wall and I looked at it every day. And next year I was on stage and I got this. Oh, wow. It does all these kind of reflective things in sun. Anyway, sorry. I think I'm ADHD, but why? Because I visualize it every day from that hotel room. Am I saying that's going to happen to you? I don't know God's best for you. I don't know God's plan for you. I don't know God's timing, but I know visualization helps. Do you have a map for the next month for you? It's hard to see. Every month I do this. Do I fill in every blank? Here, I have May right here. No, not every blank got filled in of what I hoped happened. But I look at this every morning and I say, Lord, bring me the people that need the business and the products. And so I map it out. And here's my June map. These are just some ideas that have really helped me. And finally, I want to just say, has anyone here, can you raise your hand if you've been to a leaders retreat? Okay, some of you have. It's my favorite event. And I think I know you would really love it as well. I don't know when we're going to start talking about it as a group or as Plexus, but what I do know is it's worth going to and it's worth winning the prizes that they offer along the way. This is eyeliner and a sharpener from the last leaders retreat. No, not the one in Punta Cana. It was the one with it had a, what do you call it? Bloomingdale's. I earned the Bloomingdale's gift card, whatever. And this little eyeliner was probably $30. And this was probably like 40 because they gave us thousands of dollars. These are the best products. I would never spend that on myself. Why am I saying that? Is it about the gifts? No, but they're wonderful. How about the next time you hear about the leaders retreat coming up next February, you say, Lord, I think I want to go to that. I'm going to be blessed by that. Talk to your husband, talk to whoever you want to, pray about it, and start visualizing yourself there and all that you can learn and all that will help you, not only with your business, but with your family. I always learn as a person how to be a better mom, a better Bubba, a better wife, a better person in my community. So that's what I have, Miss BK.
That's all, everybody. know I'm so serious. Thank you so much for what you shared. You know, the visualizing thing, I know my team knows this, probably Bonni does too. I'm like, no visualization, it's new age, it's all this stuff. Um, and I have to say, God's word does say a lot about where we are putting our focus, our mind, our hearts, our affections, all of those things. And I kind of want to end with this. The fact of the matter is that since we were children, we daydream, right? You ponder, you daydream, you're thinking, oh, I'd like to be on the beach. My husband, bless his heart, he was little and in school, and he was so bored out of his skull, staring out the window. He's like, I didn't learn a thing. I have no idea if like I don't remember any of my grades. I just didn't care. Poor thing. But he was somewhere else. He was jumping out of planes. He was doing all these huge things. You know what he ended up doing? Jumping out of planes as a helicopter rescue swimmer. In his mind, he wanted to be somewhere else adventuring, you guys. So I'm just saying, what are you unintentionally daydreaming about, pondering? Are you thinking, who's going to leave me next? Oh, how much more are my points going to go down next month? I pray not. You guys, why not start your day, and in the middle of the day, do you know that you can always like have a team meeting with yourself and with the Lord and be like, hey, you know what? Let's shift some things here. Where is my hope? You guys, this visualizing, this daydreaming, it's hopes. It's hopes of the future. Do you have hope? Are you lacking in hope? First of all, he is your living hope. If you're a Christian here, you're not going to be happy no matter where you end up, diamond, triple diamond. I don't care how big your paycheck is. You guys, we have to keep our hopes up. I had like a list of more negative things that I'm like, I don't want to end the call kind of like that, but it's a list of things. Maybe I'll share next week of things that you don't want to do. Don't be doing this if you want to keep your hopes up, your focus on track. We're going to share that next week. But Bonni, you had me back in my house on probably day 2, day 3 of the triplex. And I decided to take 4 Probio 5 right out the gate. The more, the better. You guys, I landed in my bed, like with what I thought was the flu. I'm like, David, I can't take care of the kids. I think I have the flu. He's like, I can't just come home. Like, oh my goodness, like I'm in charge of all this stuff. Military, hello. He ended up being able to come home. 2.5 days, I'm in bed. Do you know what I was doing during those 2.5 days? Messaging my friends and family about the hope I had found with Plexus. I felt horrible. My eczema was like blowing up even more. You guys, I was going through massive detox and Herximers, but I knew it was a gift. I'll never understand why that was given to me. To me, the gift that was given to me was belief and hope. And that mindset, and when I realized I was massively detoxing, I'm like, David, you have to go back to work. I just need to support my liver and maybe help me into my detox bath and make sure I don't I don't know, that I drink enough water today. But you guys, ask God for that gift of belief and hope again, okay? If you haven't experienced it, and this is very experiential like conversation, I know, because I do not like feel at the top of my game every day, believe it or not. I know I come across very charismatic and bubbly and energetic, but man, you guys, the discipline that you create around this hope and belief will be so encouraging to you because you'll keep showing up and the Lord will show you the fruit from your showing up. It will be different for Bonni than it is for Sonia, than it is for Liz, Samantha, and me. But that fruit that you get to taste, like Bonni knowing all these people, that have had Crohn's, that have found this relief, she gets to eat that fruit and that is nourishing to her. That's proof like, yes, I can keep going. So if you're not showing up, you're not going to get to the fruit, to that goodness. Don't give up. Oh, Bonni, every minute of this was unbelievable. Thank you for making us laugh, sharing from your heart. You guys have anything that you want to say? I know we're at the 30-minute mark, but like any aha moments or like, thank you, Bonni, I want to hug you.
Can I just say a couple things?
Please.
I absolutely loved chapter 5. I will say that I had been struggling with the mindset of the business, and I just, after I had read the story that he had shared in that chapter, and then talked about how to think of our business as a gift, that was like very, I don't know, it just really hit me. I was like, okay, I got this now. Like it really hit home for me. I loved that chapter so much. So now I look at it as a gift because there are people that need this income. And yeah, so I just wanted to share that. That was it.
That is so exciting. And you are so like showing up. I mean, you get out there. And so I'm assuming happily that you'll have some stuff about the business and the opportunity coming up here. How exciting is that? I cannot wait to see what happens with this. Isn't that amazing? She just had a huge like mindset shift. Wow. Wow. Anybody else? All right, you guys, it's end of month. Let's go do this thing. Let's go serve some people, love on some people, take 5 or 10 minutes after this call and go pour out that belief that you have all stored up in your heart that's massaging your heart. I literally felt like Bonni like massaged my little heart alive today. Anybody else? Thank you, friend. Have a great day, guys. Happy end of month. Go work hard, play hard, celebrate well. Love you. Bye.